Good evening, everybody. I'm Fictional Crystals, and this episode was so nostalgic. Truthfully, not much happened in this episode, but I found it heartwarming. Mostly because when I first got into Steven Universe, Tiger Millionaire would play on TV over and over again. Watching Tiger Millionaire over and over again got repetitive, but it was nice to remember the days before I knew how much I'd loved the show. After all this time, turns out Steven and Amethyst still go wrestling. But now Amethyst is getting bored of it, so she decides to quit without having told Steven sooner.
Hey now, that mic is expensive! Oh, geez, what am I doing? These things are expensive.
Because Amethyst quit, Steven thought he had to quit too, which made Lars very upset because he was Tiger Millionaire's biggest fan. Lars told Steven about how Tiger didn't need to quit along with Puma. So Steven got an idea. Sadie's figured out Tiger's Steven. She's been having her suspicions about it since Tiger Millionaire. Back at the ring, there were two rip-off contestants of Tiger and Puma. One of them even had Tiger's briefcase. However, Tiger steps back into the ring, except this time he's Tiger Philanthropist, not Millionaire. He ran in wearing a hooded cloak like Amethyst did in Tiger Millionaire. Like Lars, I was a bit annoyed that Steven was just throwing a bunch of Greg's money everywhere. Yes, Tiger's an actual millionaire now, but he's sensible enough not to throw that much money everywhere. Those aren't just jungle bucks. Tiger decides to fight a match by himself and totally annihilates all the other contestants. Steven has been using his super strength a whole lot more lately. Something that he couldn't have done back in the episode Tiger Millionaire. Everyone loved the new Tiger, except Lars. Lars didn't like how Tiger had changed. For him, it was like having your favorite show get a terrible reboot. Steven wanted to know what would make Lars happy. He was acting so off while asking. Turns out even Lars himself didn't know what he wanted. The problem was the reason Tiger continued to wrestle was because of Lars. Yet he couldn't even make Lars happy. So Steven confronts Amethyst about it. There's continuity of Amethyst eating tea bags. The reason Amethyst started wrestling in the first place was because she felt insecure about herself.
You can't let anyone make you feel like garbage.
Is that how you feel?
It wasn't until recently that she stopped feeling that way. So now that she's gotten over her problems, she doesn't feel the need to wrestle them away anymore. Steven continued wrestling, and he certainly has some problems with other stuff. But that wasn't why he wanted to wrestle. Wrestling was Amethyst and Steven's thing to do together. It was really how they started to bond. So it always felt like their thing to Steven. He wrestled for them, not anyone else. By the end of their conversation, he decides to quit like Amethyst did. Because they aren't doing it together anymore, and Lars just doesn't care. He was also giving up the tag team belt, which him and Amethyst were known for. Some returning contestants were ready to fight for it. Until Purple Puma stepped in. Amethyst apologizes to Steven. She realized she shouldn't have ended their wrestling team and memories the way she did. So they decide to end their time as Tiger and Puma with a bang. Opposite from Tiger Millionaire, they lose the match to the good-looking gang. But at least they're happy in the end, unlike Lars, who's never happy. When they were fighting at the end, I felt like there was such a big build-up for them to fuse. Just with the hugs and the understanding each other and the going out with a bang. I'm pretty sure I even heard the fusion sound effect at one point. Smoky Quartz wouldn't have really changed the plot of the episode, it would have just been nice to see them again. This episode didn't really have character development for Lars or Sadie. It was more so getting closure for Amethyst and Steven's wrestling, along with how their relationships developed and Amethyst's problems. Her and Steven no longer need wrestling to make them feel good. It's interesting comparing how different they are since Tiger Millionaire. What Steven learned in this episode was do things to make you happy, not to please other people. He's kind of already touched on that topic before, but they were adding on to it. Though I found Steven to be extremely strange at some points in this episode. He was acting like Steven, but not the same Steven that we've been consistently seeing recently. He was less like the current assertive Season 4 Steven, and more like the Steven from Season 2 or 3. He was mainly just like this in the bits where he was talking to Lars. I found the bits with Amethyst fine. Despite that, this episode had pretty good continuity, like background characters returning, or Lars wearing his skull earrings. But anyway, thanks for watching, and this is an anticlimactic ending.